Hello and welcome. As the day's light fades and the world outside grows still, let us step away from our own time. Let us travel, not with the clamor of legions or the debates of senators, but with the quiet, steady rhythm of a home being put to rest. Tonight, we will spend a few hours in the tranquil domain of a Roman villa, guided by its most important, yet often unseen keeper of order, the housekeeper, the villica. Imagine, if you will, the last hues of a lavender twilight settling over the hills of the Italian countryside. The heat of the day is softening into a cool evening. The main work in the fields has ceased. From the villa, a soft golden light begins to emanate from its high windows. Inside, a figure moves with a calm purpose. Her footsteps are quiet on the mosaic floors. Her keys, hanging from a belt, make the gentlest of metallic whispers as she moves. This is her realm. This is her nightly ritual. A ritual of checking, of tidying, of ensuring that when the master's family retires, and when the staff settles, the great house itself can sleep. So, find a comfortable position. Let the sounds and worries of today gently drift away. And let us, together, walk these quiet, lamplit hallways. Our story begins in that gentle, in-between hour. The hour when the busy sounds of the day soften into the quiet hum of evening. In a large Roman villa, this was a time of transition. The master may have finished receiving his clients in the atrium. The children's tutor may have put away his scrolls. The field workers were returning from the outer lands. And in the heart of the home, the villica begins her quiet dominion. Let us imagine we are a shadow, a friendly spirit of the household, following a few paces behind her. She moves from room to room, and we see the world through her calm, observant eyes. She starts, as always, in the atrium. This grand entry hall is now a cathedral of shadows. The opening in the roof, the compluvium, shows a square of darkening blue sky. The rainwater pool beneath it, the impluvium, is perfectly still, a mirror for the first evening star. Her sandals make the softest whisper on the marble edge. She crouches, not because she must, but because it is her ritual. She runs her fingers through the cool water, checking for any sediment, any leaves that may have drifted down from the roof. She ensures the small drain is clear. This pool is not just practical. It is sacred. It is the home's connection to the sky, to the gods of rain. Its order reflects the order of the home. Her gaze lifts to the niches in the walls. Here stand the images, the wax masks of the family's ancestors. In the fading light, their features are soft, peaceful. She gives them a slow, respectful nod. They are the silent witnesses of the household, and she ensures they are free of dust, that no spider has spun a web across the face of a venerable grandfather. This is an act of memory, of continuity. From the atrium, she glides into the tablinum, the master's office. The air here smells of papyrus, wax, and the faint, sharp scent of ink. The large wooden desk is a landscape of the day's concluded business. She does not touch his correspondence, but she straightens the heavy glass inkwell so it catches the last light from the doorway. She gently rolls a stray scroll that has come loose, securing it with its leather tie. She lines up the styluses on their tray. Each movement is a period at the end of a sentence. The day's work is done. The mind can now rest. Next, she passes the triclinium, the dining room. The 3 couches are arranged around the low table. She walks to each one, her hand brushing over the finely woven covers. She plumps a cushion here, straightens a fold there. Her eyes scan the intricate mosaic floor, a scene of fish and ocean waves. She looks for crumbs, for a drop of wine that may have escaped the afternoon clean. Finding none, she allows a small, silent satisfaction. The room is ready. It awaits tomorrow's conversations, tomorrow's laughter. Her journey takes her outside, under the covered walkway of the peristyle garden. This is her favorite place at this hour. The scent is overwhelming in the best way. Damp earth, night-blooming jasmine, the clean smell of trimmed boxwood. She walks slowly along the colonnade, her hand lightly trailing along the smooth, cool columns. She pauses at the central fountain. Its gentle, repetitive trickle is the heartbeat of the garden. She checks that no fallen blossom is blocking the flow. The water must move, must speak its soft, nighttime language. She notices a lizard dart into a crack in the wall for the night. She sees the bees have all returned to their hive in the far corner. Life is settling. As she completes her circle, she looks back at the villa. The lamplight now flickers in several windows. Golden, welcoming squares in the deep blue dusk. Her first, most important task is complete. She has seen the house transition from a public to a private space, from a place of action to a place of repose. She has, with her quiet presence, turned the key in the lock of the day. As the stars become clearer above the open roof of the atrium, let us follow her now to a place of warmth and necessity, the heart of the home's nightly preparations. With the public rooms at peace, the villica's focus turns inward, to the engine rooms of the villa. Her steps now led her away from the polished marbles and into the functional, honest heart of the home. First, the kitchen, the culina. During the day, this room is a storm of heat, noise, and glorious smells. Now, it is a quiet cavern, still holding the day's warmth like a memory. The large, central hearth is a landscape of gray ashes and glowing embers. She uses a long, iron poker to carefully spread the coals apart, ensuring they will die down safely through the night.
No saden flare ups, no dangerous sparks.
Along the walls, she inspects the portable braziers, the faculae. These are crucial. She lifts one, feeling its weight. She checks that the bronze legs are sturdy, the basin is free of old ash. She directs a young servant boy, who has been waiting quietly in the corner, to fill a basket with fresh charcoal from the storage bin. Not too much, she says, her voice low but clear. Just enough for the mistress's chamber and the old grandmother's room. The boy nods, his movements careful. He knows the villica's standards. But her true authority is symbolized by the heavy iron keys on her belt. Now she selects one. It leads her to the cella penaria, the pantry. This door is thick oak, bound with iron. The lock turns with a deep, satisfying thunk that echoes in the quiet corridor. She pushes the door open, and a wave of cool, complex air washes over us. It smells of dry grain, of earthy roots, of salty brine, and the sweet tang of fermenting fruit. She lifts her oil lamp, and the world inside springs to life in a dance of shadows. This is her kingdom of abundance. To the left, rows of amphorae, each taller than a child, lean in wooden racks. She moves down the line, her fingers tracing the painted labels. Oleum Hispanium, oil from Spain. Garum Pompeianum, the finest fish sauce. She taps each one near the top, listening to the hollow or full sound, gauging the levels. 1 amphora of wine feels suspiciously light. She makes a mental note to question the butler in the morning. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is unaccounted for. On the right are the dry goods, sacks of wheat and barley, their rough cloth sturdy under her touch. She presses her palm against them, feeling for any unsettling dampness or the telltale lumpiness of pests. She opens a large terracotta jar, the dolium, and scoops a handful of lentils. They stream through her fingers like dry, tiny pebbles, a soothing, rustling sound. All is well. On the shelves are the treasures. Clay pots of preserved olives in herb-infused oil, honey so thick and dark it barely moves, rounds of hard cheese wrapped in cloth, a basket of precious dates from the east. She counts the remaining eggs in a bowl of bran. She gently rearranges the apples so one with a bruise is on top to be used first tomorrow. This is not mere checking. It is a conversation with the future. Each full jar, each solid sack is a promise. Says, tomorrow we will eat. Tomorrow the household will be strong. In a world without instant anything, this nightly audit is an act of profound security and love. She closes the door, locks it, and the promise is secured. The The physical warmth of the coals and the metaphorical warmth of a full larder are now guaranteed. The night may be cold and dark, but inside these walls, there will be comfort. As the intellectual and physical engines of the villa are banked for the night, the villica turns her attention to its heart, the people. Her movements now become even more gentle, more discreet. She is not the mistress of the house, but she is the guardian of its comfort, and this is her most delicate charge. She moves down the corridor leading to the family's private bedrooms, the cubicula. These doors are often just curtains of heavy wool or fine linen, pulled back now to let the cool evening air circulate. She does not enter uninvited. Instead, she stands at the threshold, a silent overseer of the final preparations. In the children's room, she can hear the sleepy murmur of a nursemaid singing a soft lullaby, a simple tune about the moon and the river. The villica watches as a young maid carefully folds the children's day tunics and places them on a chest. She steps forward, her voice a whisper. The little one's woolen blanket, the one from Cordoba. Is it at hand? The night has a chill. The maid nods, fetching it from a shelf. The villica feels the fabric, approving its thickness. She smooths it before placing it at the foot of the small bed. She moves to the room of the master and mistress. Here, the preparation is more elaborate but no less quiet. A trusted body servant is arranging the room. The villica observes. The bed, a more ornate wooden frame with a plush mattress, is being turned down. She inspects the linens by the light of a three-wicked lamp. They are clean, smelling of sun and lavender from where they were stored. She directs the positioning of the brazier, not too close to the bed, but close enough to dispel the deep night's chill. On a small table, she herself lays out the nighttime necessities with a ritualistic care. A silver cup for water, a polished bronze mirror face down, for it is bad luck to let a mirror face the sleeping. A small, carved ivory box containing the mistress's hairpins and rings, secured for the night. She uncorks a delicate glass bottle of scented oil, a blend of rose and almond, and places a single drop on the pillow, a gift of gentle dreams. She uncorks a delicate glass bottle of scented oil, a blend of rose and almond, and places a single drop on the pillow, a gift of gentle dreams. For the elderly grandmother in her separate chamber, the villica's touch is personal. She often performs these duties herself. She helps the old woman's personal maid adjust the fleece-lined slippers by the bed. She tests the warmth of the stone bed warmer, filled with hot water from the kitchen, ensuring it's wrapped securely in cloth to avoid a burn. "Is there anything else, Domina?" she might ask, her voice full of a respect that is both professional and deeply human. The request might be for a specific prayer to be said at the lararium, or simply for the curtain to be left open a hand's breadth so she can see the stars. Standing in the corridor now, listening to the soft sighs of a settling house, the villica hears the distinct sounds of a family at rest. The rustle of sheets, the creak of a bed frame, contented sigh, a whispered good night. These are the sounds her work has orchestrated. She has transformed empty rooms into sanctuaries. She has turned the promise of sleep into a tangible reality of warm blankets, clean linen, and soft light. In this moment, she is more than a manager. She is a weaver of peace. And a villa was a small world. The family was only a part of its population. Dozens of enslaved people and hired servants lived and worked there. Their quarters were separate, often in simpler wings. The villica was responsible for their management, and this extended into the night. Her relationship with the staff was one of firm but often pragmatic closeness. She knew their names, their strengths, and their ailments. Tonight, after the final chores are done, she might walk through the servants' quarters. It is a more cramped, more humble space. Simple pallets on the floor, a shared brazier for warmth. The air is different here, less of perfumed oil, more of wool, of earth, of honest fatigue. She is not here to spy. She is here to see that order is kept here, too, that arguments are settled, that the weary field hand has a spot to lie down. that the young kitchen maid who burned her hand earlier has had it wrapped in a clean cloth. She might speak quietly with the overseer, the villicus, often her husband. They discuss the next day's tasks in low tones. This nightly coordination is how the great machine of the estate is wound down, and then wound up again. She ensures the rules are followed. The lights here must be out by a certain hour. It is a matter of safety, of discipline. Her calm presence is a reminder that rest, too, is part of the rhythm. To work effectively at dawn, one must sleep deeply now. She secures not just the family's rest, but the rest of the entire small community that depends on this land. Now, the true depth of night has fallen. The villa is not just quiet. It is immersed in silence. The villica's final walk is a solitary communion. This is no longer about duty, but about essence. She is listening to the soul of the house. Her first stop is the main entrance. The great wooden door, studded with iron, is monumental in the dark. She places both hands on the horizontal bar, the claustrum, that rests in heavy brackets. She pushes, testing its weight. It does not budge. It is as solid as the earth. She runs her fingers along the seam where the door meets the wall, feeling for any draft. There is none. The outside, with its unknowns, its vast empire, its nighttime mysteries, is held at bay. This barrier she has secured is the ultimate symbol of her success. Safety. Her path takes her past the lararium once more. The small shrine is illuminated by a dedicated, tiny lamp. The painted figurines of the Laras seem to watch her with benign stillness. From a small pouch at her belt, she takes a few grains of wheat and a pinch of salt. She places them in the offering dish. She doesn't speak a complex prayer. Her thought is simple, direct, flowing from her day's work. Guard this sleep, guard this silence. Let the morning find us all well. It is a tradesman's prayer to the gods of the trade, and it is deeply heartfelt. She does not need to check every room now. Instead, she walks the central peristyle garden again. The moon has risen, bathing the colonnades in silver and etching black shadows behind every pillar. It is a world transformed from a colorful day. It is monochrome, profound, and utterly still. She stands by the fountain, watching the moonlight shatter and reform on the moving water. This sound, this endless, gentle trickle, is the voice of the night house. It speaks of continuity, of cycles, of things that endure. And now she listens, really listens. Her ears are attuned to the symphony of a sleeping estate. The soft, rhythmic snore from the porter's alcove by the door. The faint rustle of straw from the stables as a horse shifts its weight. Inside her domain, the sounds are even more intimate. The settle of a cooling roof tile, the almost imperceptible crackle of a dying ember in the kitchen hearth, the gentle sigh of a sleeping child from an upper room. She hears no cries of alarm, no shouts, no nervous whispers, only the deep, even breath of a complex organism at perfect rest. This is the sound she has worked all evening to create. This is her masterpiece. Not a clean floor or a full pantry, but this profound, living quiet. She looks up at the square of night sky visible through the atrium roof, now brilliant with stars. For a moment, she is not a housekeeper, but a person, small and humble under the cosmos. And yet, in this tiny corner of the world, under this vast sky, she has created order. She has spun a cocoon of peace for dozens of souls. With a final, slow breath in, smelling the night jasmine and the cool marble, she accepts the completeness of her work. The house is no longer a collection of tasks. It is a living thing, and it is sleeping. Her final duty is to let it dream. And so, we come to the end of our quiet night in the Roman villa. The villica, the housekeeper, finally allows her own shoulders to relax. She returns to her own modest room, perhaps near the kitchen or the storerooms, so she can hear if she is needed. She sets her heavy ring of keys on a hook by her bed. The sound is a final, definitive note in the day's symphony of tasks. She might wash her face and hands in a simple bowl. She might comb her hair, loosening it from its practical bun. She drinks a cup of water. Then, she lies down on her own bed. She listens. The house breathes around her. A settled breath, peaceful breath. Her mind might drift over the small details, remembering to check the grain for weevils tomorrow, reminding the gardener about the herbs. But these thoughts are gentle now, softened by fatigue and the deep satisfaction of a duty fully performed. She was the unseen thread that held the tapestry of the day together. And now, in the dark, that tapestry is whole, beautiful, and at rest. In our modern world, we may not have a villica with a belt of keys, but we understand her purpose, the longing for order, the deep comfort of a space prepared for rest, the profound dignity in caring for the place and the people we call home. Image 59 modern window. So tonight, as you lie in your own bed, in your own time, you might think of her. A woman whose name history has largely forgotten, but whose quiet work was the foundation upon which the grandeur of Rome was built, one peaceful, well-ordered night at a time. Image 60 fountain finale. Let the calm of that distant villa, settled and safe under the stars, wash over you. Let your own thoughts settle like objects finding their rightful place. Let your breathing become as steady and untroubled as the fountain in the moonlit garden. The night is deep. The world is quiet. All is well. Thank you for listening. May your rest be peaceful and your dreams gentle. Good night.